But hey,
Post.
figure it out.
Post.
Plosive
Piggity
post. Live from the stew.
Oh, he's taking our intro, dude. Yeah, man. I was
I wanted to
what?
time it out perfectly.
That's what I was looking forward to. I was like, can't wait to say live from the studio so they know we're starting. And you just come in with, oh, man.
Just think of me like the voiceover voice, though.
I don't think we've ever had a successful intro now I think about it.
We usually get carried off on some other conversation.
We should. Before we do that, this is live from the studio. I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric.
And with us today we have back again.
But this time it'll work.
But but first time for you guys, it's Baltimore comedian Collin Baker. There he is.
What's up, guys?
Yeah,
How's
man.
it going?
Going
at
great,
Collin
dude.
Baker on Twitter and Instagram.
At Collin Baker on Twitter and Instagram.
Not
2 L's in
Facebook.
Collin.
You're at the
2 L's.
comedian. Collin.
Yeah. My Instagram is almost entirely fishing photos now.
Yeah.
There are no.
Very-
Well, I mean, like, Instagram is weird for comedians, I think. Like, what am I supposed to do? Post, like,
Yeah,
pictures of me holding a
You
microphone?
can't be like
Yeah.
too good
Can I-
looking. You can't be too. I don't know.
Or, like,
Yeah,
well,
I
can I
don't know.
post, like what? I mean, I'm not going to do, like, little short Instagram videos. I never got into, like, the whole
Yeah.
Vine
Don't they let you
Instagram
do like?
video
Does
thing.
Vine let you do as much as Instagram now? As like 15 seconds?
No, I don't think so.
I think no, Vine is like 6 seconds still, and then Instagram is the 15-second one. But dude, I had kind of a good idea today.
What's up?
I think it would be cool to like have like a Snapchat story like show. Just
Oh,
like,
they're
you
doing
could-
that already.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Snapchat
Sorry.
story
I
show.
literally was listening to a podcast the other day, and a guy was like, "Check out my new web series. It's
Fuck.
going to be on Snapchat."
How does that work?
Yeah,
How
well,
do those
It's
Like,
in like
it's just
9-second increments or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
So like you could
And then
just
you watch
film
it every
different
day in real
shots.
time.
Or well, I just mean like you could just set up a story. You could just do like I don't know how many takes it would take, but like a like a 3-minute short video,
Yeah.
but just like broken up into different camera
Oh,
angles
yeah,
every
yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be cool.
Would it be like episodes or would it be like a podcast type thing?
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Like
I
the
just
show, the
Like,
Snapchat.
what's the
would
difference?
Would it be like an actual like show, like episodes? and
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
would be like
I
a
mean,
show.
well, Yeah, I don't understand. What do you mean, though? The difference
Like
between like
just
a
like
show
a
and a
random,
podcast?
like do
I
you
mean,
just mean
okay.
like a random occurrence?
I mean, like, is this going to
in
be
3
like
minutes?
the guy
No, I
has a
just mean-
Snapchat story show, right? Is he going around filming things? Is he doing a blog?
No,
Is
it
he-
would just be like a
Oh,
show.
I think it's a narrative show.
Yeah, it'd be like a
okay.
narrative show.
That's what I was. Yeah,
And
that's what I was
it would-
getting at.
I would like film it sideways or whatever, and then just like like have like a 3-minute short, but cut up into 10-minute shots, and then so you just watch the whole story,
Okay.
and then like I don't know, just watch the whole
Snapchat's-
story. It'd be cool, I think.
Snapchat's
But
definitely
it
on
would
the
take
way
so
up,
much
dude.
time.
Snapchat's definitely on the way up. I mean, I think, yeah, that's a. Is anybody doing that yet? But you were saying.
Well,
that-
he said, yeah, they were.
Yeah, I think somebody is. I forget who it was. I think it was on Doug Loves Movies.
Oh, okay.
Loves
So
Movies. Who runs
someone
that?
who was on Doug Benson.
Yeah.
Doug Benson.
Yeah.
Has he been on Comedy Side? I feel like that's
Yeah,
a
he
A
has
lot.
pretty
He's
familiar
on
name.
at midnight all the time.
You know that.
Oh,
He's got
right.
he's got
movie?
like 5 movies. He's made a bunch of
Yeah.
documentaries and like stand-up specials and
all
stuff.
based on Morgan Spurlock.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, all his titles are
Yeah.
Morgan Spurlock title puns, just because he got obsessed with that idea of like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
movie I make, except
who. might sound
Chronic
stupid
Con
for
and
this.
A New Dope is like a Star Wars pun.
Who
obviously.
is
Yeah.
Morgan Spurlock?
Morgan Spurlock?
You
He
remember
made
the
um,
Supersize Me movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
really?
he ate
Yeah,
McDonald's
yeah. That
every
was that
day.
guy?
That's that guy.
That was a classic movie, dude. We
Yeah.
watched it
Yeah.
in school.
We watched it in like every single cooking class. And
Yeah.
I took like 3 cooking classes.
What
I
was the
watched it
final
3
results of that? How
times.
much weight did he wind up gaining?
A lot.
How long
Yeah.
did he do it? It was he ate
30
McDonald's-
days, I think.
He ate McDonald's
Or no, was it
every
longer
meal a
than that?
day.
I think it was a month.
I think it was,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
so-
how long in Super High Me he goes without smoking
Mhm.
weed, and then he
Yeah.
goes and he smokes weed constantly for 30
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
And what were the results of that? What did you discover?
Well,
there?
he didn't
just,
like
like,
not
hated
smoking
being
weed.
not
Yeah, he
high,
hates
yeah.
being sober. But he didn't have any problem maintaining sobriety. Like he was like, it's not like an addiction. He's like, this just is really boring. He's like,
so he was trying to prove that it wasn't addictive. What was his
Kinda,
What was his
yeah.
thesis
and
statement
then
on the video?
well, and also he was like, he doesn't think that it's really that bad for him, and so he went to and this has actually now been corroborated by like scientific studies, but he
Really?
like went to a doctor and like had his lung capacity tested before and after he quit, and like
okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem like. I mean, it's certainly not good to ever inhale smoke, but like, they
Yeah, I
were
was about
like,
to say,
there
there's no way
seems to
it's
be
not
weird,
healthy.
but there seems to be like that tobacco is or weed is not nearly as damaging as tobacco to the
Yeah.
lung. Like smoking weed pretty heavily and consistently doesn't really cause
Which
all
is
that much
why we
lung
prefer
damage.
spliffs, dude. Because we can
a
still
little bit of
enjoy
both.
weed with all the health risks of tobacco.
Right,
really.
because then you get
Allowed
to feel like a
cancel each other out.
cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anti-cancer properties of the weed completely
Yeah.
cancel out the completely cancer
Yeah, it
properties of the
works.
tobacco.
You're just smoking straight oxygen.
You might as well just be breathing.
Yeah.
You might as well just be
Breathing.
sitting down.
9 out of 10 doctors agree.
You can do. You know the fucking mountain climbers, those Sherpas, the ones
Yeah,
that just live
dude,
up
the
there. Dude, they
Nepalese.
smoke spliffs all day long up
Yeah.
there to help with their oxygen intake.
What science says when you
Yeah.
can't get enough oxygen.
Yeah.
Smoke a
Every
split.
1,000 feet they climb, they have to smoke a spliff. That's what I've read.
Mount Everest is filthy with
Oh, yeah,
cigarette
there's just
butts.
fucking
There's just
roaches
fucking
everywhere.
roaches all over Mount
Dude, yeah.
Everest. It is
Roaches
gross.
are indigenous to fucking Mount Everest, but it's just fucking
Indigenous.
it's just all the frozen butts.
Dude, there were. I feel so. Super High Me, I'm assuming was a parody, not a parody,
Of
but like
Super
a.
High
It's like sort of
Yeah.
a spoof, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
a spliff,
but or a
if you will.
spliff.
And you said this guy
and
was.
a sploof. I meant spoof, but I
Yeah.
said sploof because we just said spliff so many times.
And you said this guy was just a dude. He was
He's
like, I'm
a
gonna
stand-up. No, he's a stand-up.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it probably wasn't quite a
didn't you ever-
scientific.
You've never seen Doug
Didn't
Benson?
you see-
I've
did you
seen
ever
Doug
fairly
Benson.
well
I've
known.
seen
Oh,
Doug
okay,
Benson.
you have.
He
You
was
just
like
never
a
seen this
Netflix
movie.
special. He
Or are you
used to
talking
have
about
that
Morgan
show on-
Spurlock?
I'm talking about Morgan Spurlock.
Oh, he's a
Okay.
documentary filmmaker.
Well, he had that.
He makes documentaries.
okay.
He
Yeah,
had
he's
a
made a
show
bunch
on
of
FX
movies.
for a while. It was
Yeah, he
basically
did.
like it was
And he had
basically
one on
Supersize
Stars.
Me. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
basically like Supersize Me, but like
A
with
different thing.
different people. He
Oh,
like
yeah.
for like each episode was like different people doing different challenges. I think.
That's
Yeah.
wild. I gotta check that one out. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean
that
he's
good.
he's interesting. Yeah, the
It-
show I heard wasn't
Yeah,
that
I
good.
didn't like it. It didn't
And
really stay on.
I don't know how much Supersize Me. Well,
Oh, we
it
spent a
holds
lot of
up
time.
pretty
So you're
well.
saying after all this, it's not good?
No,
Shouldn't
just
watch
the
it.
show.
I mean,
Like
you just wanted
Supersize
to
Me is
learn more
good.
about the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're just teaching.
Supersize Me is good. His other movie, Palm Wonderful presents the greatest movie ever
Yeah, yeah,
sold.
yeah.
That one's good. If you're interested in like how movies are
I
made.
feel like
That's
an
a
old
really good
grandfather
one.
talking
That's a
about
good
this.
one.
I have no clue what the fuck you guys are
It was
talking
It's
like
about.
called
movie.
it's called Palm Wonderful, like the pomegranate juice company, because they sponsored it and they
Yeah,
gave
he
so much
paid
money
for
he-
the whole movie by
with-
getting sponsorships, and then the whole movie
from
was about
different
getting
products
sponsorships
and, like,
for
how you
different
do
movies.
that.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
how he
wild.
paid for the movie, and so that's why it's called that. It's like it's crazy. And it's really interesting to be like, wow, this is like a whole industry that you never really think about, unless you watch Entourage, because that show has the most blatant
Dude.
product placement in the entire fucking world.
I
It's
can't believe they're making
insane.
an Aquaman movie after
Yeah.
fucking they did it as
Yeah.
like a joke
Yeah,
in Entourage.
like the broadest joke. Like they
Like
ruined
James
that
Cameron's
idea.
Aquaman.
Who's directing the Jason Momoa Aquaman?
Isn't it Wan? Isn't that guy?
Is
doing
it?
that? James Wan? Is that his name?
Is that the
James
guy from
Wan.
the Fast and the Furious
yeah,
movies?
7.
Yeah.
And then, like the Insidious movies.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! That actually
So it might
sounds
be
like that'd be
dope.
good. Never mind. I see you,
Yeah.
DC. I see where you're
Yeah.
going with this.
Dude, and then the Ben Affleck Batman. That's good.
I heard it's a go. I still haven't
think
seen
it's gonna be dope. Dude,
BVS.
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I think we talk about it last week.
Well, not with Dark Mark. No,
Okay,
we
yeah.
definitely haven't talked about it on like an actual episode.
okay.
But the Batman, are you talking about Batman versus Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like they're gonna do because Ben Affleck was Batman in that movie, so now they're gonna do a Batman standalone movie.
Isn't Affleck
With-
gonna direct one of
Yeah,
these
he's
movies?
gonna write it and direct it.
the Batman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, he's gonna write it, direct it, and star
Yeah,
in it.
dude, it's gonna
That's
be
a recipe for
the
disaster.
town of
That's
Batman.
Dude, he did
Oh,
that.
the town was
He
good,
did that
yeah.
in Good Will Hunting, and it was a great fucking
He didn't
movie.
star in Good Will Hunting. I mean, Matt Damon
co-wrote
did.
that one.
Yeah,
He
and co-wrote
he
that
wrote,
one.
directed, and starred in it. I mean, not
That's
starred
true,
in it. Yeah, he
that's
starred
true.
in it.
He
but-
starred in it.
I mean,
And
hey,
did
Good Will
he
Hunting
didn't
was a
write
great movie.
Argo, but he directed Argo, and he starred in it. And he
Haven't
got a
seen- I haven't
goddamn
caught that one.
Oscar for that. I haven't seen it yet either, but I just
Ben
know he got
Affleck
an
just is
Oscar.
Matt Damon gonna be in?
Dude, he's gonna be Robin. No.
How have I not
It's
heard
gonna be like
anyone
Jay
make
and
that
Silent
joke
Bob
yet?
Strikes
Have people
Back, yeah.
made that joke yet?
No,
I
I
don't
think
think so.
I don't
That
think
was
so.
just
heard
Have
it here
that,
first.
yeah,
That
that's.
was me, yeah.
But I
Heard it
mean, like,
here first,
I know.
guys.
I don't
Live in
think
the
like
studio.
I wasn't saying like I would think you would steal that joke. I was just remarking like that seems like such a joke that I would have heard before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
that's a good joke.
This is the
That's a good,
Batman
fresh
origin
joke
stories of that joke.
of that joke.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're gonna
Luckily,
watch
no
it.
one
We're
had to
gonna watch
die.
it 6 times the next next 10 years as they continue to remake it.
Wait,
I
get, like,
forget.
younger Jimmy Erics. They're gonna get some like Asian guy to play Collin.
Yeah. In a couple different versions, you guys are seeing an opera. In other ones, you're seeing The Mask of Zorro or whatever.
We're seeing
That's a weird
bats
deep cut
on
Batman reference.
Broadway. Oh man, good bit.
Shit, dude. What have you been? I haven't.
Yeah, what have you been up to
have
since
you
we
been up
lost your last episode?
Since we lost the last episode.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about that. I
that's
didn't want to
okay.
tell you. To be fair, I didn't want to tell you we lost because then I was
How
like,
is he not gonna find out? if we
Yeah,
just
wait a
never figure it
minute.
out?
What was your end plan with that?
I just figured, you probably weren't gonna ever search for it, so you would never know.
Oh, you don't know the
egotistical
depths of my
he is.
narcissism.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, yeah, we did lose it.
That's all right.
However,
I
we got
lose
our shit
things all the
straightened out
time.
now.
What have I been doing? I feel like I had a show yesterday, the 420 panel show at Zissimo's.
Nice.
It went
I was
pretty
on
well.
it.
We were very confused most of the time, and I've been
Yeah.
on it 3 times before, and I still don't really know how to play.
Dude, my
Exactly.
favorite part.
What? How does that work? What is the 420?
We
pounds?
still don't
It's
know.
like, I mean, it's okay. Well, here's what I understand about the show, and that it is a like British. It's in the style of what they call British panel shows, like chat shows where they have like teams of comedians and they're asked questions, and you come up with an answer, and you get sort of. And Jesse has always explained it to me as sort of like the points are sort of like whose line, and that it doesn't really matter, but you're like assigned points based on your answer. And like
Okay.
filling up the time, and it's like, and so the points are kind of more based on like funniness, and they're like subjective. But then we always get confused, and I think also just me and Ian Salyers is the other team co-captain. Me and Ian Salyers are captains of the team, so we're in every panel episode with a new team of special guest comedians. Eric was on the one yesterday.
Yeah.
Is it pretty
Fucking
much all
killed it.
improv?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I mean, it's
point,
just like
I mean, I guess you
making shit
can't really
up. Yeah,
prepare
no, because we
material
don't know
for
what
that.
the questions are going to be. So
Okay,
it's
that's
just
what I was gonna
all-
ask. Do they tell you the
No,
questions?
no.
Yeah, but also it was like the 420 panel show, so we all just kept getting
Oh,
confused.
we were
and we're like,
violently
should we just
high.
supposed to like answer this right? Because it's like
Because you
gives
get
a
more
question-
points if you get it correct, but the question's impossible to answer.
Yeah, because like the host is like, he's like not. He doesn't write a good question. He wasn't like he gave like a very
well, he was
one of
also
the
super high.
questions-
Everyone
yeah.
was high. That was the problem. Was that everyone was so high that
was
like
like-
the whole we were all so confused like all the
Yeah.
time.
What kind of questions is he throwing
Okay,
at
so
you?
one of the questions was like, name this person, and he was like, a girlfriend got angry because
she
like,
was super. She ate like
she
a bunch
had
of
a dream,
edibles
or like- oh,
and
yeah, she ate-
thought that her boyfriend was trying to kill her because she was a rapper. What rapper was she? And it's like, wait, what?
yeah,
like,
and it's like,
but-
what girl? Like what?
That's,
I mean,
so
I
confusing.
yeah, there was a lot of lost in
I feel like-
translation
I feel
going
like,
on.
Is that his goal? Because I feel like if you are,
It's not like that every
stoned-
week. It's not
Yeah.
that
exactly.
confusing
I feel like
every
if
week.
You're
Yeah.
is he trying to make it confusing? He
No,
knows you guys
I think
are gonna be violent.
I honestly think that we were just all high,
Yeah,
and he
I
was
think so.
high.
Well, I'll tell you
and
what.
so then he was just trying to
that
read his
question
own
was
questions.
confusing, and it might be
Yeah.
because I'm high. But I got to hand it. That was a confusing question, so I'm wondering: is this guy pumping those questions out every week? Because that is impressive.
Well,
first
and
of
it
all.
is supposed to be almost impossible to answer. Like, there's really no right
Yeah,
answer
'cause
to
it's
some
like
of them that
you're
you're
supposed to have like
know.
a funny answer. I
Right.
guess.
So
That's a lot of pressure. You gotta
it's
toss people
fun.
softballs.
It's not
for
every
that.
week though. I think it's once a month.
You said that's at Zissimo's.
Zissimo's, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Mhm.
It was fun though, because it was basically just like we
That
bantered
brutal.
back and forth.
Yeah.
With the other.
Who else
And
is
so
on it
it's
with
always
you?
good.
Anybody out now?
No.
Nice.
Do you know Ian
Simple
Salyers?
answer.
You know
Huh?
Ian probably.
I've met
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we should just shout everybody out. It was Ian
Yeah.
Salyers. Well, Ian Salyers' team was him, the captain, John Stonebreaker, and Heather Miles.
Nice.
And then my team was me and Eric and Ben Hasday.
Yep.
Who won?
Ian did by
Ian did,
one.
but,
We
like-
had a lead the whole time.
Yeah,
we were
had like
dominating.
a 10-point
What?
lead, and then somehow
Okay.
we just stopped
And then
getting points.
we just stopped getting points.
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of like wrestling in that, there's a
Yeah.
drama. We've gone back and forth every time with
Yeah,
who
yeah.
wins. So
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's me and Ian Sellers are so competitive. Like I feel like we're ruining like that the game shouldn't be played this competitively, but we're so competitive.
Ian Sellers. I think I've called
And
it.
so are you. You can
Dude, I
you
was
and
going.
Ian
I
were
was getting.
throwing
I was going
jabs.
angry.
Jeez, man.
It was
I was
so
being.
funny.
I was being such a heel.
Heel, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up heel turn.
Yeah.
So-
Ian started it though.
And
man. He
everyone
started
was
it with
so high in the
roast,
audience,
dude.
so everyone was like, "Whoa, super aggro!" Like, whoa, like the reaction was palpable.
Yeah.
Palpable, dude. I swear to God, man, you have the best vocabulary of
Hey,
anyone
thank
I've
you,
ever
man.
fucking met.
Word of the day
Like,
calendar.
how
Goes
does-
a long way.
I used to. That was my screensaver for a long time. Was the word of the day screensaver. But I used to literally, as a little kid, read the dictionary for fun in elementary school because I would get bored in class and I wasn't allowed to read a book in class. So
It
I
is-
would just pull out the dictionary and just read
I
random
do it from
words.
time to time, dude. It's education. I
interesting.
like finding.
Yeah.
I like the idea of finding out like that you have this like idea in your head. You're like, that feeling when this happens, or like that thought. But then there becomes a word for it. You're like, oh, there's a fucking word for that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You throw it so casually into like layman conversation. You know, I feel like everybody knows the word palpable for sure.
Yeah.
I think most
But
people.
not everybody says it all.
But
the time.
just to toss it, like people use the word palpable on a term
Yeah.
paper.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
if they're writing a book. But you're just talking about like the 420 panel show, just palpable,
Yeah.
just out there. I'm like, Jesus, man.
I like to be specific. You know,
That's good.
every word has a specific meaning. And
That's a good way to
one
be.
of the great things about English is that we have so many fucking words. We
Yeah.
have so many words because we just steal them from other languages when we want to.
There's
we do,
still
baby.
like
So
there's
we
still
just have
things
so many
that, like,
words.
There's still things that aren't words though. Like
Yeah,
they're
that's
words
true.
in other cultures, but they're not.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our culture.
German. Well, I think the one that I can think of at the top of my head was it Fremschunt or Frenchunt, and I was talking to you about this the other day. It's it's the feeling of embarrassment for someone else. Now in English, when we want to describe that feeling, we have to say, "I'm embarrassed for you."
Yeah. I think
And-
now we would call that cringy.
Yes, cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Cringeworthy
or
accurate.
cringy. Like,
For some reason, I always imagine the term cringeworthy to not necessarily be embarrassed
I
for
feel
that
like
person,
it's like
but just to
I
be
feel like
awkward.
it's a punch down too. I feel like
It
you're,
i-
like,
it is
I feel like
so-
it's like
yeah.
a making fun of them at some
Yeah.
point.
Cringeworthy
But I feel
definitely
like
is more
the
making fun of
Fremdschump
them.
or whatever it's called is
Well, that's
like
probably-
you sympathize.
right.
Yeah, that's only because we don't speak German, and Fremschamt might very well
It
be
might just
something
be a
equal.
diss. Yeah.
It might be a complete
Yeah.
diss. Like if
That's
somebody
true.
said,
We don't know how it's being used.
Yeah,
if we
maybe
said
it's like they're
cringeworthy to a
laughing at
German,
you.
they'd be like, "Thanks."
German,
Yeah, I don't fucking know what I
German
mean.
kind of cheats with like words too, though. Sometimes because they have so many compound words, like where
Yeah.
like for like a word or a concept, they just cram all those words together into one new word. Like,
And plus,
There's
everything
a-
they say already sounds demeaning, just the way they speak.
Dude.
And so it just, I anything you say,
Yeah,
really,
the inflection in every single word is just
it's
like, are you yelling at me, dude?
I think it's just impossible to speak German without yelling. I think that's the case.
True.
it does always. Oh man, I have when I was a little kid, I used to speak a little bit of German. Like I went to German club and stuff because my grandfather was fluent.
Was he German or did he just? Was
we
he?
descended from excuse me, sorry, from like German stock in the Midwest, but
Okay.
he was in an American, grew up in the Midwest and then moved to the East Coast. But he learned it when he was in World War II and he was put in charge because he had always had a gift for languages. He spoke like 7 languages. It was insane.
Wow.
Damn.
He was also like fluent in Arabic and very conversational.
Arabic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he did a lot of
great
work in
both World War II
Kuwait.
and
Yeah.
We could have used him.
But he was in charge of, or not in charge, but like he worked for whatever the agency was that was responsible for transporting German prisoners of war to the Midwest. Because if they would defect from and they'd be like, hey, look, we're Nazis, but like we didn't really have a choice, so like we didn't want to do this. That's how fascism works.
Yeah.
We renounce it. Then we'd be like, okay, you don't have to live in a prisoner
Come
of
to
war
South
camp. You
Dakota.
have to come to South Dakota. You have to
That's all
come.
you
You
have
have
to
to
say,
come to
dude.
Michigan.
All you have to
You have
say.
to work on a farm, and then we'll either send you back or you can live here. And that's why there's so many German people in the Midwest. But
They
so then
need
he
to fill up
learned.
those states.
Yeah,
They were like,
Yeah.
guys, we could
Yeah.
use some help anyway. The Midwest.
This is
looking-
like the outback of America.
And they're
We
like,
need
it's
to-
cold here. It's sort of cold in Europe. You'll love it. You'll
So
love it.
you said he spoke Arabic as well?
Yeah. Oh, but I have a story about the German thing real quick.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to like bogart the mic, but
Dude, it's good, man.
So when I was in high school, I took the German exchange student my senior year. Her name was Danny, and she was in my homeroom or whatever. Like we called it advisory or whatever, but that was our homeroom. And we sat at the same table. We were cool. She was very cool. She hung out with like some of my friends. Like we knew each other casually. So I ended up taking her to prom.
Nice.
And then she graduated with us like honorarily. Like she still had a year left in German high school.
Okay.
And she was 2 years older than us because their education system's so much better. Like she knew shit we knew, and she was like 16 when we were like 17 and 18.
There you go, man.
And but so she sort of like graduated with us, and her mom surprised her and flew out and came to our graduation ceremony.
Nice.
So while they're there, she's like, "Oh, Collin, you have to meet my mom." I meet her mom. She meets my family. My grandpa hears them talking in German, and he gets really excited because he never gets a chance to use his German, so then he starts talking to them in German. But because he learned his German in the 1940s, he has a 1940s accent. Like, it sounds like it sounded like if someone was, like, speaking English, and they're like, "Hey, kiddo, 23 skidoo." Like, you'd be like, "Wow, you speak English well." Like, and when what they said was, like, "You speak German well, but, like, you speak German really strangely. Where did you learn German from?" Like, we're just really curious. And he says, in the camps.
There you go.
And then they get super apologetic because they think he means like concentration camps.
What they really mean.
But what he means is POW camps. But they get like super like apologetic and like so like, oh my God,
I'm
we're
surprised
so
nobody
sorry.
thought that.
And then he goes like, "Oh, not your camps, our camps." Ha ha. Like he thinks it's hilarious, and they think it's so
Jesus.
awkward. And then they just like we're like, "All right, well, bye. We gotta go," and walked away.
That's how you scare a German.
It was awkward.
Yeah, man. I was just about to say, I'm surprised he didn't make the joke, like, nah, our camp.
Yeah, no, he did make that joke. Yeah,
sounds like
and
it.
they it didn't go over well. Didn't go over well with him.
I feel like bringing up like the Holocaust to the German is like bringing up slavery to a white guy.
Yeah, but
it's
very
super
awkward.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
apologetic.
They actually,
not
I
gonna
feel
lie,
like they
dude, if you-
handle it better than American white guys do. So
If
many
you-
American white guys would be like, just like, that didn't happen. I don't
wasn't
know.
me. That wasn't me."
It wasn't that big of a deal. But like at least Germans are like, "Oh man, we're just so sorry about that." Still,
I don't
like,
know, but at
that
the same
is
time,
rough.
the Germans, she didn't laugh at it. If you tell me a good enough joke about slavery, I will laugh. Absolutely, I will.
I don't know. Tell me a good enough Nazi.
I don't
joke.
know any jokes about. There are plenty of good Nazi jokes. I'm not saying they're right, but there are some funny ones. There are some funny slavery
let's not
jokes.
tell any.
I don't know any. I don't know any
I
at
don't know
all.
any off the top of my
But
head.
I can tell you that I've definitely heard some that made me laugh. Not afraid to say it. Not
What
afraid to
was
say
your
it.
question about my grandpa speaking Arabic or whatever?
Oh, I was saying that it was impressive mostly because I feel like there's such dissimilar languages.
What, Arabic and
Arabic and German.
German?
Like they're kind of like different. I
But
mean,
he
at
knew a
least-
bunch of other languages too.
Yeah, he also knew French,
But normally-
and Italian, and Spanish.
But
no,
that
he
makes
didn't know
sense,
French
because
no,
they're all
he
like-
knew. Well, those are all like romance.
They're all romance.
languages.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of like knowing English and then knowing
well,
like Chinese. It's, like,
German,
completely
German
different.
and English share a grammar format.
For sure.
And then you have the romance languages. Arabic shares numbers with English. Like they look almost exactly the same. So
Yeah.
that's like I think most of them do. That might
Yeah.
not be totally true, but I think most of them do because
I'm
he used to
pretty
have
sure-
diagrams of them and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the
Um,
entire world uses Arabic numbers except
yeah.
for like very few languages,
yeah.
from what I understand.
But like I don't know. He made it seem like it was pretty easy, and he would like try to teach me phrases and stuff, but I haven't really held on to much of it. Although I wish I did because it's cool. But like he also he was really good at that stuff. I'm pretty good at languages, but I don't know if I
do you speak anything other than English really well?
I
dude?
speak Spanish decently well. Like I'm conversational. My vocabulary is terrible in Spanish.
There you
like
go.
and my grammar's a little choppy, but like I can get along like in conversation as long as the other person speaks very slowly and like sometimes has to like think of an easier way to say something if I'm unfamiliar with a word.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, I can get along pretty well in Spanish.
I was meaning to ask you. It was like last week we were walking to 7-Eleven and I like thought we were talking about creative writing, and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
mentioned that you. Did you graduate college yet, or you?
I did, yeah. I graduated
And
college.
what was your major? Did you
about
major in creative writing?
2 years ago?
Theater, but didn't you do a bunch of creative writing stuff?
I did. I got a degree in theater, and then I got a degree in English, which I was gonna try to get an English creative writing degree. but instead I failed creative writing twice. So.
All right, so maybe don't ask him this question.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna ask
ask
you
me
anyway.
this
I'm
question
gonna ask
because
you
I'm
anyway.
still gonna be a writer. I just gave up on like getting a creative writing
Just because he
degree
failed the
in
class doesn't mean it
undergrad.
helped him at all.
I still might be.
nonfiction
I would
writing.
still like. Well, and all my teachers were like, "You're a good writer. You just don't do your classwork." And I was like, "Yeah, true.
It's
I didn't. I
classic.
didn't do
Classic
my
writer.
classwork." Well, and then I was like super depressed, and so like the second time I took it, I did the classwork, but I just never left my room. So I never went to class. And I was like, well, I don't have to go to class. I'm doing all the work. And he was like, no, it's a workshop. Like, you need to
my
be
God,
here.
man.
Like,
what do they
you
want
mean?
from you to show
Yeah.
up and do your work?
Yeah,
it's
it's too
ridiculous.
much. It's too much.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do they think of next?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna ask you. So okay. I wasn't aware that you failed so many creative writing classes.
Just two.
But
Just the same one twice. So it's not two different classes, but it was only
He had one more
intermediate. It
strike.
was intermediate fiction writing.
You had
It
one-
was the second fiction writing class I took, and I failed it twice.
all right. Well, in any case, my
I should
question.
stop saying that while I'm trying to find like writing jobs. I
Two
should stop
strikes
saying
baker.
that publicly. Yeah,
Hey, no one will listen to this.
that's
Yeah,
true. That's
just rest
true.
assured- No, they're not going to be listening. The future people that hire you.
The movers and shakers of Hollywood don't don't listen to
Definitely
the front
not
live from the
tuned in
studio.
to LFTS currently.
LFTS. That's tight.
Really trying to push that acronym lately.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah?
my next.
Yes,
that's my
man.
next big marketing move.
You
It
should
kinda
make
rolls off the tongue,
a little
man.
stinger for like, or not a stinger. What do you call like the little logo for the screen that just
We
says like
have-
LFTS? You have that, I know, but like
Yeah,
you could
but
do
we
like
have
LFTS looks more like what they do on TVs. you know?
Yeah, LFTS.
But that does look cool.
Looks
I like
cool,
the way this
Yeah.
looks.
but it's not pushing the acronym, which you need to be cool and push
The
the
brand. branding.
I'll just make that, but with like the same font, so it's like the same style.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
LFTS.
sorry. I'm the worst question asker of all time. I
What was the
literally,
question?
before I asked you your question, I
Oh,
made sure
yeah.
you were sufficiently fried by Eric just to call you out on failing shit.
Oh no, that's cool. But what was the
I was,
question?
yeah. I'm
You
like,
never got to the question.
you feel terrible enough about yourself yet? All right, cool. I can ask this question. My question was, creative writing as a comedian, you're writing, I'm assuming it requires a lot of you channeling your what you observe in the world and in your daily life, and just like the way you write your material. Does having skill in creative writing help you to write your material?
Oh, I
Look
mean,
like.
I think yeah, because stand-up is so much writing. Like, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, even really the people that are improvising, like that's still sort of like it's storytelling skills.
I
like,
mean,
that
it's still
really
like
helps.
it's still like channeling like an inner monologue or something.
right,
I don't
like
know.
a focused voice.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
creative writing classes teach you to do? Is to tap into that, or I always wondered
It's a little
what
bit
exactly.
of everything. I mean, I also my theater degree taught me a lot about writing, and that specifically was writing theater and writing theater for me to perform. So that was like crazy
Well,
helpful.
Ben Affleck movie
because like they had us like write our own monologues and stuff like that. So that was like a good way for me to figure out what works and what doesn't work for when I write for myself. But what's interesting is that I write things like, you know, stories and like theater things. I don't really write much like any theater stuff, but like when I used to write theater stuff, I write that completely differently than how I write stand up.
Are
Like,
you still?
I don't write my stand up out word for word.
Is that your eventual? Are you still trying to make it in the theater realm, or are you more focused on the stand up now?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I would ever be like I don't want to do like if a theater project was like attractive and interesting and like I could do it. The problem is it's like a lot of time, so it's hard to
Yeah.
be able to do that and do stand up. I don't feel
Well-
confident enough yet in my stand up to career to take a 3-month break and not really feel that dividend. Like maybe when
Sure,
I have
yeah.
more of a career going, I can be
For
like, I'm going
sure.
to take 6 months and go do a play somewhere just
Yeah.
like for funsies and not that much money because there's hardly any money in theater, but it's not about the money. It would be about the fun of it and the fact
For
that
sure.
I like it and I like theater. I'd like to write a play. Plays are hard to write though.
Yeah.
Dude,
They're so hard
Theater
to write.
acting is unbelievably stressful. I imagine.
Yeah,
Remembering your
it's
lines and
hard
shit
very
like that?
physically, I think, like the just projection and stuff. Like, and if you're in a play that's very physical, it's like you're so tired by the end of it because it's so much like physical and mental focus.
I'm just thinking about how much more pressure it is to be, like for instance, like they did the live. What was the most recent live thing they aired on ABC? Was it Peter Pan or was it The
well,
Wiz
they
or
did The
something?
Wiz, and then they
Grease.
did
They did
Grease live
Grease.
on Fox or whatever.
Yeah.
Grease was
Grease
the
live
most-
was actually good. It's
didn't
the only
watch it.
good live musical that I've seen from on like network
I must
recently.
have missed that. How recent was
and
that?
a couple months ago. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it was like in January or something. But it was good, and because they actually had Broadway performers, like it's like because they're the only people that have like the stamina, like the physical
For
stamina
sure.
to deliver a perfect show. When you're like, we need a perfect show now. Like
Yeah.
TV and movie actors like have the ability to do multiple takes, so like you can kind of warm up into something.
Oh,
And that's
yeah,
why
for
it would
sure.
always go wrong. Like something would always fall flat or feel weird on in those live musicals.
Are
Yeah.
you?
Well, you just did that play with like Lexi and Cameron and
Yeah,
all
and I
those
did
other
that because
people.
because we only rehearsed for a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
It
Where
was
was
like
that?
very
But
quick.
even though you said that was like kind of like
it was stressful.
stressful, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that was we were like it wasn't that stressful though once we got into the process because I was able to like I was pretty stressed about it like the first couple days, but by like the third day I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine.
Cool.
And it was fun. Like I relaxed into the process of making a new thing because that's the other added stress of making a new theater piece where you're constantly changing everything as you're rehearsing it so that you can make it as good as it can be by the time it comes out. But then you're trying to memorize something that's like constantly shifting.
Yeah.
But luckily we didn't have to memorize lines. All of our dialogue was pre-recorded and played out through speakers.
I didn't know that.
So you just- what did you do,
That's what
lip
they
sync
did
with
in the
it?
movie. Yeah, we actually most of us didn't even lip sync because it was based on the play was called Hold Me While I'm Craven, and it was like the script was sort of like an assemblage of moments from these movies by the Kuchar brothers, who were these underground filmmakers in the 1950s. They kind of like were some of the first like underground weirdo amateur indie filmmakers in Brooklyn. They were like very influential on John Waters and like underground cinema in general. And they would just make these like weird movies. And so like the script was parts of some of those movies. One of them was called The Craven Sluck, and the other one was called Hold Me While I'm Naked. And so it was segments of both of those screenplays cut and pasted together. And then it was a transcription from an interview with Mike Kuchar, one of the Kuchar brothers, where he's in a documentary talking about a UFO he saw in Brazil. And so then it's a transcription of that cut into it. And that actor actually memorized and read that whole and like performed that whole monologue.
Wow.
Nice.
And it was like kind of a dialogue. There was someone playing an interviewer who would ask like simple little questions, but
That
he
sounds like a
mostly
neat,
was talking. But then for those of us in the movie portion, we would just sort of either mouth or just stand there and look frustrated while our dialogue would play over the speakers, because in the movies they didn't have sound equipment, so they would just overdub everything later. And they would overdub it with sometimes different actors or sometimes just themselves because they didn't have enough money to hire people again.
That's
like
crazy.
they were a bunch of weirdos. Their movies are on YouTube. Check it
Nice.
out.
Check those out.
How long
for
ago
sure.
was this that they were doing this?
The 50s.
Kuchar brothers. You
Yeah,
said? I will check that.
Kuchar.
That sounds interesting.
Kuch.
John Waters. He's a Baltimore guy.
He is
Yeah.
indeed. He still lives in Hampton.
The
He also has a place in San Francisco.
Serial Mom was
but-
filmed right at Eric and mine at high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
Carson
yeah.
High. Yeah. That was
THS.
back in the 80s, dude.
Mm.
Wasn't
LTFS.
Matthew Lillard? I cannot say his last name.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. It's tough. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta take some time with his last name. Matthew
You almost
Lillard.
want to do like the
Lillard.
Spanish double L thing.
Lillard.
Lillard.
Like, it makes it way easier. I
Yeah.
will say
True.
he should have considered it in his coming up. But was he was in Serial Mom, right? Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen Serial Mom actually.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is
It was a
Yeah,
neat
yeah.
movie because I think honestly now that I'm actually thinking about it,
Mm.
I think it had a lot of influence on Scream because it was the first like horror comedy that I can recall.
Did it come out before
Well,
Scream?
I believe so. I think it was an
Scream-
early '90s, possibly '80s film, and Scream was
more
Scream
of
was
like a
like
commentary on like
No, it's
Scream was
too
like a
early.
commentary on like other horror movies. Like Scream was Scream was essentially like the scary movie of like
it was
Scream, you know what I
parodying
mean?
it was parodying the archetypes of a horror
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
And that is, in a way, Serial Mom was doing kind of the same thing, in my opinion. In my the way I'm viewing
I
it,
see.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah.
how the concept of a movie that is both
Yeah.
funny and potentially scary influenced whoever Wes Craven
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
it who made Scream.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then
but
Scary Movie was I consider Scary Movie way different than there was a lot more of like a plot and like a developed
Yeah, it
actual
was-
horror aspect to Scream more than the Scary Movies.
for sure,
obviously.
but that it was just because it was a different genre as well.
What is Scary Movie considered up? A parody, I guess, just a
Yeah,
straight comedy.
like
It's
a
definitely not a
spoof.
horror comedy.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what's the
I
most
think,
recent
but I
horror?
think though you would probably like if you were like maybe organizing things like for like DirecTV or whatever, you'd probably say like parody comedy, comma horror.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But
Like
then
it's
it
like
gets
it's a
to-
horror parody comedy.
So then you get to the fact that Date Movie was one of the same
a
similar
date,
a movie
genre
it was
parody.
it was a parody of a romantic
Rom-com,
comedy.
Yeah.
right.
And so would
Oh,
that
did you
be
see,
considered
They
romantic
Came
comedy
Together?
still?
Scream. I think Scream is more of a satire
Mm.
A
Than
satire.
a straight up
than
parody.
a parody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not a parody. I think that's the
Yeah.
only difference then from Scary Movie is the fact that a horror comedy is more of a satire. Like when I think of a horror comedy, Shaun of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Shaun of the
Yeah,
Dead is
for
another
sure.
good
Horror
example of a
comedy,
horror
yeah.
comedy. And then versus satire versus parody. So Scary Movie, all those are more parodies.
Yeah.
Mm.
When's the most I haven't seen? Has there been anything like that? Scream, Shaun of the Dead since?
So yeah, the Meet the Blacks.
Oh
that
yeah.
was like it was like a Purge kind of parody,
yeah.
and it was
I've
Mike
heard that
Epps.
title so many
Is
times.
that
I
out of
assumed it was
theaters already?
like
I wanted to see that.
I think it might be.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That seems like that just came out like last week.
came out. I think it came out
Probably
like
a couple
early-
weeks ago.
Early April,
Yeah.
Came out
yeah.
fairly recently.
Okay.
Late March maybe. I forget. Also, heads up. I think we're gonna have a studio audience in a second.
Oh,
with
yeah? Who's
maybe our next week's guest,
Oh yeah, who's this?
Ellis.
Ellis.
Yeah.
Ellis Fackler's rolling through. All
Oh,
right,
yeah,
cool.
cool. Yeah,
I can take it.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Ellis canceled on us last week, and
So
we
then
had
we-
Dark Mark
Oh.
in.
Mm.
It was cool.
That
How
was,
do you,
that was a good ep.
I guess you guys are all kind of in the same little comedy circle. You guys are all
Mhm.
close to each
Oh
other.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love Dark Mark, dude. He's fucking amazing.
Dude, he's great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He has like a very you can tell he's like a more experienced like older guy because
Yeah.
he has when he performs he brings a level of professionalism to it.
And he's very wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we even listened to the last time we went fishing.
Yeah, we did.
listened to that episode on my Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
so
cool.
Yeah.
you're familiar with all? Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
so I listened to that whole episode and we were
Yeah.
out fishing.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually bring fishing rods?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
That's
caught
when
some.
Eric and I go
I
fishing. we
caught
don't
2
usually-
fish. Yeah.
Wow.
2 pickerel.
I usually
Pickerel.
bring
Cool.
it, but then like we just get too caught up in like the drinking aspect.
Obviously.
Yeah.
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 Just I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah, we take like a 6-pack, but when we go fishing, we take like a 30.
Yeah. I think that's how my brother does it too.
Yeah. I said we to Collin first, and then we to Jimmy second
Yeah,
for
I
the
was-
podcast listeners.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
For
no,
the for the
me
webcast
as well.
watchers, you got the
Yeah, you
tiniest
saw.
of finger
You
points.
saw my thumb.
the
in
smallest
my,
little gesture.
I was lost on it, dude. I didn't know you were meeting
Lost
two
in the
different people when
sauce.
you said we the first and second
yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, we'll bring like maybe 1 or 2 beers per person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it chill.
Keep it chill. Sometimes in the boat, I feel like we had a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, were you guys actually
I
you guys
brought like
actually
12
took the boat
back.
One
out this
time we got a boat. Not
That
this
was
last
fun.
time,
Yeah.
but the boat was really fun.
Yeah,
I'd
you
like
can
to
rent
do
it
that
for like
again.
$30 for the whole day at
A
Lock River. It's
canoe's
crazy.
only like 19, so I kind of want to try a canoe because I feel like that'll be tiring, but
Dude,
that'll
the
be good to get
motorboat
like a good
It's
workout
so
in.
fucking slow. You might as well just
Yeah.
get the canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I
it's really
first saw it,
slow.
I was like, dude, I thought they were getting me a boat that I could like fucking
No
fly,
way,
dude.
dude.
I was like, this is
I
awesome.
thought you were getting a jet ski.
Just freaking
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my god, $30 for the whole day. I can freaking coast across Lock River
Yeah.
Reservoir,
Yeah, like-
break record times and shit. No chance, dude. You get something that literally
It goes like maybe 5 miles an hour.
I don't even
but
know
at
if
the
it
same
goes
time,
that
that's
hour.
decently fast.
If there's a current,
You
it won't
go
go
pretty
forward. If there's a
fast.
current going against you, you will not move.
Yeah.
That's how weak that fucking motor is. It's no bueno. No bueno.
For sure.
Oh wait, you were off mic for a second, and I thought it cut out, but I think you were just.
Yeah, I was just
Back
leaning back,
here.
dude. I was just leaning back. The noise gates are no longer.
Yeah, it's going through the mixer, so it's picking up like everything pretty much.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
so it can't hear me if I'm back like.
No,
this?
it totally
I
can.
think it'll be like
Oh, okay.
yeah, it'll just be like quieter, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
hear it in my monitor, so I wasn't sure. Sorry, this has been technical buffoonery with Collin Baker. I'm a technical buffoon.
It's the outro music.
Yeah,
Technical
we don't have
buffoon.
intro music. It's a
Yeah.
surprise show. You don't know when it's
It's
happening.
a smooth transition. into it,
Right.
yeah.
Smooth transition, jarring ending. That's
Oh,
how I like
dude.
all of my things
Of
to be.
course.
That's how my life will be.
Yeah,
Jarring
how you have
ending.
sex.
And when I have sex, it's sudden and surprising at the end. It makes sense
Smooth
going into it. Then all of a
transition,
sudden it's like,
yeah.
whoa, it's done.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was sudden and surprising.
Wow.
Really took technical buffoonery to a whole new level, dude. I enjoyed that. That was good. That was good. That was impressive. I was
Music a lot. Yeah.
that music reminded me. I was watching Tom and Jerry this morning, dude.
Ooh.
You ever? When's the last time
The
you
new
watched?
ones or were
No,
they
the
old
classic
reruns?
ones.
I
Yeah.
think the last time I watched it was that night that we were hanging out in here and we just watched a bunch of old school cartoons
Yeah,
on
dude.
YouTube.
Looney Tunes are great.
Oh my
I used to
God.
watch
Looney
them all the
Tunes,
time as a little kid.
Baby Looney Tunes.
Because they used to play them on comedy or on Cartoon Network all the time.
They did. I don't
Yeah,
know why
do you
they
remember
don't
Toonheads?
anymore.
Toonheads
Yes,
was a great show because
yes.
it would also tell you trivia about how cartoons were made, and I was like, that is
They have
fascinating.
It was very
to me.
educational.
Yeah.
It was
have
very.
their own channel, Boomerang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't
I
even
didn't
play.
know.
Do they
Oh,
play
yes, they
Looney Tunes?
did.
I thought they played
Yeah.
like just like the '90s cartoons,
No,
like
they
Johnny
play,
Bravo.
No,
and
they
stuff.
don't play. Well, they do now because like it is
Because of the
kind
massive appeal.
And the
it's a massive
Flintstones. I didn't know
appeal.
they went as far back as the Looney Tunes. That's cool though.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
play like Jetsons and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the Snorks?
Yeah.
Were those the guys
dudes
with the
were-
little?
They were like
snorkel?
underwater Smurfs, yeah, with little snorkel heads.
How did they even try to pass that off as a different idea?
Dude, they do that all the time. Have you ever seen Jabberjaw? It's basically Scooby-Doo, but underwater and with a shark, and a talking, super effeminate shark instead of a dog. But he doesn't have like... Scooby-Doo has like a dog voice, like whatever that means in the universe of Scooby-Doo. Yeah. But like Jabberjaw is just like, me, I'm Jabberjaw. Like it's
Well, I mean, how do you
but
do a
he's
shark voice,
giant
you know?
shark. Just looks ridiculous.
I feel like I've caught episodes of that, but it must have not been a highly successful series.
It's horrible, I think. Like, I remember even as a little kid being like, this is not
So
as
with
good
the
as
human-
Scooby-Doo.
Were the humans like swimming along with them in like flippers? Or
No,
what
I
was
think they
going
had helmets, didn't they?
Well, but also like Jabberjaw would walk around.
Oh, yeah, he'd
outside of
walk
the
around
water
on
his fucking
land.
Fins.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know.
Dude, remember Magilla Gorilla?
Yeah, I
got a
do
gorilla
remember
for
him.
sale. Magilla Gorilla for sale. That like ad would always play on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Don't you want to buy a gorilla you can call your own?
No, seriously, dude, Tom and Jerry was literally. It was literally. The early episodes were no dialogue.
Yeah.
And it was like all the action was scored to the symphony playing behind it. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
this musical. It was awesome,
They
dude. I was
never
like,
had
wow.
dialogue.
I
Tom
mean,
and Jerry never
Yeah.
really talked.
The
in
new ones they do.
episodes,
They do.
yeah.
Yeah, the new weird
Which is
remake,
stupid.
which is weird. Yeah. And
That's
the
dumb.
animation's weird. It looks weird.
Yeah, well, because it's like probably on a computer.
The new
now, so it's so
animation, dude,
smooth.
bugs me out. Like I watch like the Looney Tunes and even like cartoons going into our early childhood, like Hey Arnold and stuff like that. The new animation when you watch the kids, even SpongeBob, even.
Yeah.
But the new animation that they do, that's kind of like this 3D computerized animation, dude. I cannot get down with it.
Yeah, like it's
It's-
good at like a Pixar level, but at
Yeah.
like a television level, it seems weird and
they don't have the
uncanny.
budget.
Well, even
I
like
guess.
it seems because it's done on a lower budget, it looks hokier to me.
Yeah.
But even on the major productions like the Pixar stuff, like Frozen,
You're not into the Pixar stuff.
Well, what
I
about, like,
prefer
even the-
if I was watching like an old Disney movie like Pocahontas or Hercules or something like that. I
Oh,
prefer
really?
that animation style over the
Mhm.
animation style in Frozen.
Yeah. Okay, I see you.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
It's just like
well,
it
Frozen's
doesn't-
not Pixar is one thing, but I
Yeah,
see what you're
I-
saying.
yeah.
Like, because
Disney.
some like Pixar movies are authentically beautiful, like
Oh no! Oh
and
yeah.
like Frozen. I didn't really have a problem with the animation style of Frozen. I did have that thing that I have with like every sort of Disney animated movie, which is getting used to what people look like in the art style of that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes for the first 5 minutes of the first time I'm watching an animated movie, I'm like, everyone looks fucking weird. Like everyone looks weird in this. And then by like 10 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I'm on board. This is what humans
Yeah.
look like in this context.
That's what
like,
I had that same thought the other day because like there's like a Ratchet and Clank movie coming out.
Yeah.
And it used to be like the big video game series.
Mhm.
So I feel like anyone who's played Ratchet and Clank or anyone who's familiar with it already is
Has,
going
like-
in like, oh, this is gonna be dope. It looks just like the game.
Right.
But like people just seeing it for the first time, they probably got to think like, this movie looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like, this movie looks fucking stupid. What is this? This fucking furry is the main character, and this robot sidekick, and this big beefy dude in a green suit. Who is that?
Yeah.
It probably looks so goofy to the like
Yeah, yeah.
uninitiated.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw a preview of it this morning while I was watching Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Clearly, because I was watching Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
And I saw a preview for Ratchet and Clank, and that was the exact thought process that went through my head.
Really?
Because I didn't play that game really.
Yeah.
I didn't
have
play that game,
PlayStation.
but I was familiar with that.
Was
game.
it was PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have
PlayStation 2,
PlayStation. I always said Nintendo, and Nintendo is dope. In my opinion, I'm throwing out a lot of opinions here. I'm gonna keep
Hot
throwing.
take.
Nintendo 64 at its time was the best game console ever when it came out in '97.
You're saying like
It
compared
revolutionized
to
the game.
things now, like it still is like a bigger pioneer.
I'm not saying that obviously the Xbox 360 shits on the Nintendo 64, but I'm saying for its time,
Yeah.
Right.
for its
And, like,
time,
the
It was
catalog.
so revolutionary.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean, think of where we were at before the Nintendo 64. You had Sega Genesis. The original PlayStation, I believe, was Nintendo 64's competitor, and Nintendo had them beat, in my opinion. But then, as it went on, for some reason, Nintendo just took this very, like, lame, family-oriented route.
Well, I
mean,
think
that's
it's
what
more
they always were.
child focused. Yeah,
That's what they always
it's
were.
more
dude.
child focused, whereas like Sony and
That might
Xbox
actually be
went
why-
more like adult focused
Yeah, but on the Super
or young
Nintendo,
adult focused, I guess.
when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, it came out on the Super Nintendo first, and on the Super Nintendo they didn't have blood. But then it came out on the Genesis with blood,
Tons
and
of
then
blood.
it outsold like the Super Nintendo version by like a lot.
I
because
think
of
that was the major innovation for Nintendo 64 is it actually had, like, graphics that are comparable to the type of graphics we have today. Not in, like visual quality, but, like,
Yeah.
they actually had those. Like, it was no longer just a guy, like, ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
like
ding,
bigger
ding.
well, and that's
scale.
just like
Yeah.
the artistry. I think at the Nintendo company was.
It was
like,
also like the technical
beyond.
limitations before.
right.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously,
But
someone
like
in
they
97,
could
they were
even
like,
with
we
the
can do it.
technical limitations, like make something very clear and easy for you to understand that looked nice.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed to like some early video games that are just like it's hard to like be like, is that a bush? Is that a person? Is that a monster?
Well, because like
What is this?
There was a while in like for like in like 360 and the PS3, I guess, like they got too into like making everything look gritty and
Yeah.
fucking dirty and muddy.
Yeah.
And then everything just looked
It didn't
exactly
look
the
shitty.
same. It was all just
Yeah.
brown.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, they
Brown
kinda
with like
scaled it
little
back,
repeating stick
and
and
like
stone
huge
patterns.
bloom,
Yeah.
like a bunch of blooms. So everything just looked like faded and distorted.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, they're getting back to like, okay, like we can make it look good, but also have like its own style too
Right.
that looks good. And
Are they up to PlayStation 4 yet, or where are they at?
yeah, PS4, Xbox
Yeah.
One, and then
Is
the
a new
Nintendo
thing.
Wii U.
Oh yeah. Why is it called the Wii U?
I don't fucking know, dude.
They probably just didn't care. I don't know. If I were
I
Nintendo,
remember
I'd be like,
the
fuck it.
code name was like something so much cooler.
Really?
And then they just fucking.
The Nintendo Dick Blaster.
That was some bad mic technique, dude.
Yeah, that
Moved
was.
away while you're.
Yeah, I was like, let me move
Yeah.
away for this question.
Yeah.
How do you go from okay? So Nintendo obviously took the more child-oriented route, and they have like the most like their graphics looked like they got fucking worse over the
You
course
think?
of
No,
time.
I think they got better.
Well, like I mean, not graphics like in quality. I'm talking about just like the animation. Like in Nintendo 64, you had like realistic looking people, but I'm thinking like the
What?
Wii games and shit, dude. The Wii games
I
with
mean,
those little
Kirby.
like characters.
Kirby looks like a Kirby.
Yeah, Mario never
but
looked like a
Never
real
looks like
fucking
a real
Italian
I'm not
plumber.
saying
He was never
you
some
were
gritty
fucking
ass
running some old plumber around, dude. I'm saying
fucking
like.
plumbers crack out.
Like PlayStation went on to have like Madden, where it was like a real ass football player, and then Nintendo was like, "Yo, guys, instead of getting into more real looking people, let's just go backtrack
like
on
all
like
cartoons.
little balls with moving bats and
I
shit."
mean,
like
they
that.
Yeah.
did that with like Legend of Zelda though. They made like a more realistic
Yeah,
Legend of
Twilight
Zelda game.
Princess. That was
Ooh.
They
cool.
have
Ooh.
like they have also the Fire Emblem games, which is
Yeah.
like
Can you
know,
play
Those are sorta
Nintendo
anime
Wii
style,
without?
right?
Can you play Nintendo Wii without doing it? Like, is there a way to
Without
just
swinging
chill and
it?
play?
Well, the
You
Wii
can get
U is like a controller.
adapters.
So
yeah.
they kind of
Wii U.
got away from the because I feel like that's a major inconvenience. If every time I want to play video games, I gotta
Yeah.
be like,
No,
Yeah.
you can
Going.
use a
the
what
Wii
was
U,
the what was the square one? The Nintendo that was the cube.
the game.
GameCube.
GameCube. You can use a GameCube controller on a Wii.
Well, not
you can
all-
plug
not
it in.
all of them,
Not for
though.
all
Not all
games.
games.
Yeah, but for most games.
But the Wii U now, the controller is like a tablet with like controls on the side. So like you have a controller now, and it's not like motion, but like it has like the tilt, like all the other new controllers doing. Like
I think I got a little over my head on this conversation because I haven't played video games in so long.
I don't really play video games. I just
this was really only for Twitch to not shut down our channel.
Obligatory mention of gaming.
Video
They're
game
just
talk,
tuning in at that moment. They're like, okay, these
probably
guys
have,
are
like,
doing
they're doing their due diligence. Yeah,
talking about games.
We probably have the most viewers we'll ever have right now.
Oh yeah, like dude, tune in. They're talking about games.
Gotcha. We fucking got you, you rubes. Now we're gonna talk about stand-up some more.
One city that you're not from, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Enjoy. I was talking about extremely close personal friends.
Yeah, local comedy and
our
local
antics.
references.
No more of that relatable shit.
I stopped at the McDonald's on the Falls Road on the way up here today. You guys know Falls Road? Local references.
I went to the Chick-fil-A up in Cockeysville today.
Hey, Cockeysville.
By the Wawa.
By the Wawa.
The Wawa.
I had a coupon for a free grilled chicken sandwich. It was
Hell
delicious.
Yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Hell
Free?
yeah.
Free.
Dude, you have
Hell
been.
yeah.
I think you should get more free shit from Wawa. The amount of time you put in promoting.
Dude, this
Wawa,
episode
dude.
is sponsored by Wawa and Miller High Life. The champagne.
I thought you were gonna reach for the box
beers.
so we could hold it up together. Like it was
When
a
you're
big
recording
thing,
a
man.
video for the internet with your friends in a garage studio, grab yourself a nice room temperature Miller High Life. It'll quench your thirst.
At
$10.99.
Only $10.99 at Top Shelf Liquors in Towson.
Local reference.
Dude, this is the Bobby pin I lost.
That's yours.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
I lost
Why
it,
do you have
dude.
a bobby pin?
Well, yeah, wait.
It's
Oh, is
like
it
a
for
little clip.
roaches? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For when I go on Mount
I thought
Everest,
like
dude.
actual
Right.
like, book roaches. I was like, how does that stop roaches, dude?
You just grab them and you
Yeah.
look at them.
Like little shiny chopsticks.
Oh my god,
Little shiny chopsticks.
Tiny chopsticks, dude. I feel like pliers is a good. Maybe bobby pin.
I can't put
A bobby
pliers in
pin's
my
good.
little wallet.
Yeah, you can put a bobby. And also, if a girl asks for a bobby pin and you have one, you're a fucking hero.
Ooh, that is
especially when like you steal it from her first, and then
always good to play tricks on women. Do they love tricks? Do they love
I
magic?
thought I had a bobby pin. I'm like, you mean this?
This is my grandmother's.
You're a
I'm like, yeah,
lifesaver.
gotcha.
This is my grandmother's bobby pin.
What do you think the longest license? How long do you think the longest bobby pin has made it in this world before it was?
Well, they
I
have like
think
hairpins that are non-disposable,
Yeah,
but
but
like
they're not
bobby
bobby
pins, yeah, are sort of
They're like metal,
implicitly
though, you know?
disposable.
What does being metal have to do with their losability?
But you're saying the longest lasting bobby pin?
Okay, I'm sure they're like somewhere underground.
Dude,
1
there's
foot.
like one inside the sarcophagus at the fucking.
I wonder how long have bobby pins
Walter's
existed,
Art
do you
Museum.
think? How long have humans been bending wire
you
into
got to
like
look
a
up
tight little
when
clip?
Bobby was around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's Bobby?
Who's Bobby Pin?
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, it probably refers to a bob, having a bob.
Oh, yeah, that
There
makes
probably
sense.
wasn't a dude named Bobby who was like, yeah, I got a sweet idea. Instead of stealing these girls' pins, I'll invent my own pin.
So, but the girls already had them. Then there's no need to invent it.
Well,
Was
Your
there
story's got holes, Jimmy.
Was there a Betty pin that we just don't know?
you
about
definitely
because of the
debunked that
Betty-
theory,
Betty
dude.
pin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Riff
Hey.
Busted. You're listening
Our
to
studio
RiffBusters.
RiffBusters.
Yeah.
Welcome. We have
You
a
guys, you
studio
can
audience now.
You can move the
Yeah,
stuff off the
you
couch.
can
if you
push
wanna
my
sit
jacket
down.
off the couch. Sure.
Dude, those
What's
are
up?
those are
What's up, party
actual
people?
those are actual chubby shorts. You were making fun. I like those style of shorts.
I wasn't making fun of your shorts. I was complimenting your shorts,
Well,
Jimmy.
I mean, I didn't know the word for that though.
You didn't know the word compliment?
It's like compliment. What is the participle of that? Ah, making fun. You were making fun of me. I didn't know where to go with that thing.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Nice, dude. Yeah, just put that up.
It's hella tight.
Yeah, man.
Official word from the studio audience. This is great. We
Yeah.
need like an
Hella
applause
tight.
sign.
Hella
We need like a
tight.
last and like you better fucking laugh.
a hella tight sign.
Hella
It
tight.
just lights up,
Yeah.
and everyone has to go, that's hella tight.
Here, look at the look at the screen. We got the screen going on. We got our Twitter.
yeah, man.
Our
We're actually
Twitter's up
live
there.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
doing it. We're doing it.
We're doing
the amount of
thing.
times I tweeted live at you. Like, yo, Ellis
And you're
Backlund,
like-
live. He's going to be live. We can't wait when he's live.
Can't wait for him to be here. He
It's
said
going to be
yes.
so great when he is alive, right on our studio, live on the air.
Yeah, we paid a guy $300 to make a live animated GIF. It said live from the studio with Ellis Backlund. And it was like fucking.
You were a big
bunch of
investment,
smoke. Yeah, it was
That's the last
crazy.
time I planned a booking at a house
we blew
party.
our budget on you.
That's why we got this guy now, dude.
I'm low rent Ellis. That's what I am. I'm cheap rent Ellis.
You're Ellis
Fucking
0.5.
nothing. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Well, Scott's moving to New York, and he moved all of his shit out.
Yeah,
It's dope. Scott's apartment.
yeah. You saw the Snapchat.
It was
yeah.
unreal. It was literally unreal. Like his cousin's like a stockbroker in Brooklyn, or probably Manhattan. He just lives in Brooklyn. I feel like
Yeah.
are there stocks to be brokered in Brooklyn?
Well, I mean, Chase Bank was right there.
That's why it's
dude,
called
you know?
Brooklyn. Because that's where they do it. that's
where they do it.
that's where it got the name. That's true. Dispute me on that fact.
I'm not even gonna try. Apparently, I will say I will augment your fact with another fact.
Oh, augment.
Yeah, I'm trying to start
Yeah,
to your
I
level.
respect it.
Hey,
Game
you guys
respects
are-
game. Game respects game.
We're talking about cartoons. Remember Augie Doggy
Oh.
and Doggy Daddy?
There was not a doggy.
There
daddy,
was a
dude.
doggy
There was
daddy.
It was a father-son.
Yeah. Augie doggy.
Was the daddy's name Doggy Daddy?
Yes, it was.
Or was it Augie Daddy?
No, I think it was Doggy
It
Daddy.
was probably Doggy Daddy.
You mean Augie
pull up the
Doggy
tape.
Senior?
Guys,
Maybe.
comment live. Wait, if this is live, are there like comments happening now?
Yeah.
Can
is
I
it- has
check
there
the
been
comments?
anything on the comment
Has
feed?
anyone sent us any sort
Dude,
of questions?
Pull up.
You
It's
know
gonna
what?
be embarrassing when it's when
Yeah,
there's
exactly,
none.
man.
Yeah,
You're
I
putting me in
shouldn't
an
have
awkward
asked.
position.
Yeah,
Like, hey, can we check how many people aren't listening to us right now?
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do that right now. 0. Sweet.
When
All
we
right.
like
No, let's not
when
look.
we
I don't
move
want
to
to
the
look
next
now.
conversation, just do it like without telling anyone. But if
You're
like,
gonna
it's-
know when I turn around. When I turn my back to the camera and start clicking live views, you're gonna know
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
That's true.
'Cause I'm not gonna fool anybody. He's gonna be like, he didn't say he was doing it, so
Me and Eric will just look directly at each other
Yeah,
and not
we'll
at
just have our
you.
own little
We'll just have our
crosstalk.
own show.
Yeah.
Crosstalk with
Yeah.
Eric Glazer.
That one has an intro song.
Yeah, that
What's
one.
up,
That
man?
one's
This
jarring.
is Crosstalk.
I'm sorry, I got headphones on and your conversation is so. How many views? That's the thing we're trying to avoid, dude.
We don't want to.
To be fair, to be fair,
It's so low key. It's just complete underground radio. I love it.
to be fair,
We're gonna
our
start putting, like, a
SoundCloud
Harriet
has a
Tubman
couple
$20
downloads and
bill on
reposts
there.
and likes, so that's dope. Somebody in the world, 2 people in the world, I think,
Yeah, dude, we
liked
got,
our podcast enough to download it.
we have a
That's good
lot of
enough for me.
SoundCloud
Good enough for me.
listeners.
Yeah.
We had like I think we had 30 on it the next day for the second episode of the
That's
on
awesome.
SoundCloud.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Which is cool because that was basically our first episode.
that really was.
yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't broadcast the episode 1 live.
Yeah.
We recorded it like 1 month ago. No, a month and a half ago, because that was the last time we were able to
Dude,
successfully
I
record a podcast
edited
without
that
ruining it.
podcast I think it was the last week of February.
Yeah, it was before I went to camp.
So I was coming back on the bus trip. Yeah, that was a
That
we've come a
sounds
long
right.
way. We've come a long way, really. We got
Yeah,
everything working.
We've come 2 months, actually, approximately. 2 months with 2 more episodes. Right now, our average is an episode a month. We're going for weekly, but we're getting there.
Yeah, we're gonna
fuck with
hone
that.
it. We're
I
gonna
can
hone
fuck
that
with
skill.
One time I cummed for 2 months and it was
Yeah.
horrible. You'd think it'd be dope, but no, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Honestly, just couldn't wear basketball shorts.
Couldn't
Dick
wear
was
hardly
too
anything,
sensitive.
honestly. It just became soaked with cum. Like it's horrible for 2 months. I
Jeez.
wore an adult diaper.
You had like an external diva cup. Instead of diva.
A diva sleeve.
You had a
slide the diva sleeve.
cumloscopy bag.
You guys are doing impressively well with this. I'm going to let you have the floor on this one. You guys are doing really well. It was like, I thought after your one-liner, I was like, solid one-liner.
Right.
Next topic.
Oh no.
And then you were like, oh no, we're not fucking finished yet, dude. We
No.
got like
Yeah,
16 more synonyms.
Me and Eric Glazer, we riff. We riff.
Yeah.
What was crosstalk with Eric
Into the
Glazer?
riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That
end
was
of
the
Crosstalk.
beginning
That
of
was
Crosstalk
crosstalk,
and
dude.
the
I
end of
became a
Crosstalk.
studio audience. Dude.
That was your moment to check, and you didn't
No,
check.
oh my god.
It was.
It probably would have depressed me though. I probably fuck.
Don't do it. Oh no.
Fucking high life down.
High life down.
Hey, luckily
Quick,
they're
High Life,
sponsored.
send us another pallet. Send us another pallet. Miller, we need you.
Miller High.
You're our
Airdrop
sponsor.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking up. I still gotta pay for this shit every week.
No,
$10.99
no,
though.
you
It's a
don't.
good
It's
deal.
our sponsor. If you just say it's a sponsor, it'll become true. I think. If you
Yeah.
just say,
I think
it,
that's.
or you'll get a cease and desist letter.
I
One or
think
the other.
that
They'll
would-
acknowledge us.
Yeah. One or the other. One way or the other, we're gonna get attention.
I would honestly say, and this might be an ode to how uneventful my life is, but if I were to receive a cease and desist letter from Miller High Life because they actually took the time to notice that we kept saying they were our sponsors,
Dude, I would
that would be
frame
one of
it
the best
right
achievements
here.
of my life.
You
Honestly.
would
hear
go
that,
right
Miller?
here.
Fucking lawyer up, asshole. Bring it.
Make
Send-
my fucking day, Miller High Life. Say some shit.
An 8x11 fucking Miller High Life header. Like,
Brought to you by Miller High Life. That was an official ad for Miller High Life. Dude.
Yeah.
fuck.
I got that copy in an email.
Yeah.
So it's official. You can't fake an email.
Miller Life letterhead. Just fucking- I'd be satisfied.
I bet they have their own stationery.
Do they have a different? I don't know.
Dude, just
But
get
I
another
did.
one. Yeah.
Well, I did. When in doubt, grab a High
We're
Life.
getting so
Don't know
many
what you're
free
about to
pallets
say?
of Miller High Life. We're swimming in it.
Yeah. Honestly, we're gonna have a hot tub outside soon,
Yeah.
filled with High
Ooh,
Life.
and you know what smells good after 8 hours of being kept at 95 degrees?
Miller
High
High
Life. Filled with like human like dead skin cells and like feet juice. Like
2 months of cum.
Oh, how long do you think it would stay bubbly?
Oh,
Oh, dude,
I feel
High
like
Life
the
never
bubbles
doesn't-
would never go. It's the champagne
goes,
of
dude.
beers.
It is.
It's impossible to drink one without finding out you spilled some.
Yeah,
I'll
the
just say
hot
that.
tub is
I'll
just a
say that.
giant champagne flute, which is actually
Just from
a-
one guy
Ooh,
who
and
dropped
then,
one
like,
High Life in a tub and it just filled the whole
Like
fucking
Dita
thing.
Von
on the phone.
Teese in a giant martini glass full of champagne or whatever for her
Nah.
burlesque routines.
It's like a barrel fire, like, just High Life on the inside, and then just like wood on the bottom.
Tight. Hella, the hella tight sign's going off behind you, so I had to.
Somebody say hell tight.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, is there anything coming up for
Anything
you?
coming up?
Anything coming up, dude,
Any
in the
plugs,
future?
dude?
Where's my phone?
Yeah, man. You don't roll up to
Yeah.
the studio
I'm gonna
without some
have to-
plugs, man. We only
gotta
have
have
one
some
working
plugs.
outlet, but you better have some plugs.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use this
Oh,
time
wait.
to look up my plugs.
I know. Well, I'm gonna be in the Charm City Comedy Festival.
Ooh, when's that?
That is. It's 2 weekends now. I believe it is the first 2 weekends of May. The improv and sketch portion is the first weekend.
And where is this going to take place?
This is going to take place, I believe, entirely this year at Zissimo's Bar in Hampton. Last year they had Zissimo's and 788, but it was only 1 weekend.
Well, this is a festival,
So,
you said?
yeah,
I'm
this is a
imagining like
comedy
Towson Fest,
festival.
like walking up and down the streets type thing? Or
No,
is this all
it's
at
a
Zissimo's?
comedy
It's
festival.
just like a bunch of shows back to back to back with like people coming in from.
Is this
all
like an
over the US.
all-day,
From all
all
over,
weekend
yeah.
type
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
And this is you said
It'll be
first
like
2
several
weekends of
shows
May?
a night the first 2 weekends of May. The first weekend is like improv and sketch, and
That's
I'll be
awesome.
doing improv sets with the troops that I perform with, Siberia. Just with Siberia and
Is Siberia
it's an improv group,
Oh, okay. I was
and
like, yeah.
then I'll be in. I think I'm in the There's a thing called there's like a recurring like serialized show called Championship Comics that is like an improvised comic book story, and I've played a character in it before called Droton, who's basically Thor but about Scientology. and instead of like Norse mythology. And so I believe I'm reprising my role as Droton for this show. This guy Josh Connor writes them, and they're super funny. He like writes the scenarios, and then we improvise.
And you said
the
this is
dialogue.
happening at Zissimo's.
This will be happening at the Charm City Comedy Festival. I'm not sure if we have 2 locations this year or not. So just
I'm not sure.
go online at charmcitycomedyfestival.com. Yeah,
I didn't.
Zissimo's in Hamden will definitely be the like base of it, but we might have shows going on at Gallery 788 or something, but maybe not. But then the second weekend, I'll be hosting a stand-up block on like May 16th, I think, at like 8:30.
Nice.
Stand-up block.
I know Cameron Farmer's going to be on it.
Nice.
Just like a block of stand-ups. So there'll be
So like an
probably
hour
like
spot,
3,
like-
like an
I
hour
gathered
or a
that's
half
what it
hour
might
of
be.
stand-ups. Yeah.
Just like a showcase.
I was going for a
Yeah.
location. That's at Zissimo's.
Oh, that'll
yeah.
be at Zissimo's as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one will almost certainly be at Zissimo's,
Yeah.
I think.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's
And
the
then-
only thing I can think of.
yeah.
Oh, and then I have a show at Atomic Books on May 20th. Eric Glazer's on that.
Yeah.
Atomic Books, where
Hey.
John Waters gets his fan mail.
Hey.
And that'll be fun. That's all I think I can plug right now.
Cool.
Hey, man, that's
Let
cool.
me. I'm gonna throw these in here just to get them out of the way, so I don't forget. May 6th, I think. Yeah, next month is May, right? May 6th, I'm doing a guest set at the PAC. Jordan Rock's going to be the headliner.
Oh, nice.
That'll be dope. He was just on Love,
Uh-huh.
that Netflix show. And then also the 21st, I'll be at the PAC, probably doing a bit of a longer set.
Very cool, guys. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
now the need to drop my plugs,
Yeah.
of which I have.
Melting Pot.
Wait, I have another plug that I forgot about.
Throw it in there, man.
On Tuesday the 26th.
Grab a power strip.
Because this one, well, do you think most of the viewers are in Baltimore or not in Baltimore? It doesn't matter.
On
Tuesday
it'll probably be
the-
us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're in Baltimore.
Yeah, we're in Baltimore right now. On Tuesday the 26th, I will be at Assorted Nuts at the Sampler in Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we were talking about
That's
that
it.
yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn,
be
you said.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
cool.
excited about that show. That'll
All
be
right,
fun.
man. My official plug.
Sophomores, your band.
No, man.
Not just the idea of
Yeah.
sophomores. Second year of something.
Or
I'm
sophomore.
plugging it.
Honestly, the only thing I have coming up is
We'll trim
It's
this down for
embarrassing.
the podcast.
yeah. I'll shorten that 10-second pause of thing. to a
Podcast
solid
listeners,
7.5.
whatever that pause is, know it was long.
And they won't hear this. This is just for the live.
No, I'll leave this part in because this is
Yeah.
still better than the pause itself. Live from the studio next week, Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, our guest,
about
Alice
Central?
Fackler on the couch.
See, I told my brother next week
Oh,
was his
shit.
night.
Fuck, okay.
Let me and Dom in it. Me and Dom can cipher.
Dude, could we put another mic in?
Yeah.
Because we have the mixer now, so we could put another mic in. That
totally
would
could.
probably be dope. We could have like a freestyle as part of the fucking podcast.
Yeah,
we
man.
got the
we can just
audio
turn into
piped
Wildin'
in.
Out.
Dude, that'd be dope. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so next week, Wildin' Out at live from the studio.
Official Wildin' Out segment live from
with
the studio.
Selesky.
This believe me, very edited version of this podcast. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna add that. I think this is a solid,
dude, this is a
solid
pod.
conversation. You
Yeah,
know what?
I had a good time.
This episode in its almost entirety will be available on SoundCloud / SoundCloud.com if you didn't already assume that. SoundCloud.com / LFTS podcast. So be sure to check that out.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to work out the iTunes stuff soon.
Yeah, man. We'll have it available
Might have
for,
the video on YouTube.
If you don't like downloading shit off SoundCloud, we'll put it to you on iTunes, you picky bastard. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
But if you use Droid, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we'll have to
The
Alright,
find.
podcast
man.
for you.
Well, I think they can get an RSS feed from SoundCloud.
Yeah, I'm sure.
somehow.
I'm sure there's a way for those
don't know.
fucking nerds to get their entertainment.
Or they can just get the SoundCloud app. You fucking idiots.
I don't know why.
All right.
Just picking fights with Droid users for no reason.
Hey, they deserve it. Jimmy,
They
you
know what
fucking
they
droid
did.
user.
Oh shit! Thank you very much, Colin Baker. Follow him
Thank
on
you.
at Colin Baker
Yes,
on
please.
Twitter and Instagram.
Please do.
This has been live from the studio. I'm Eric.
And I'm Jimmy. Keep it real.